Democracy dies when the fourth estate complies. Welcome to Law and Society. Please subscribe and let's talk about this. Democracy doesn't die in darkness. Democracy dies when the fourth estate complies. What is the fourth estate? The fourth estate is the press. So it comes from the Western European notion that there were three estates, being the clergy, the nobility, and the commoners. And then with the rise of the press and its power to not only persuade people, but also to be able to bring justice for the people, to inform the people of the truth, a responsibility came onto the press that made the press as important as a pillar of free society. So, you know, Jeff Bezos' Washington Post did not endorse anybody in the 2024 election, whereas many other newspapers endorsed VP Harris. Few endorsed Donald Trump. Now, the question becomes of is that neutrality for the sake of truth? Is that neutrality for the sake of giving the public a proper and truthful perspective of what is happening in society? Because that is the responsibility of journalism. And that is why you see there's such a divide now between legacy media and independent journalism. Independent journalist media like Midas Touch and independent journalists like Aaron Rupar continue to work relentlessly to inform the American people exactly what is happening and doing it in a way that is not varnished like legacy media does. And what really irked me and what made me want to come talk to you about this is that, media just bowed down. And I feel like the first time that happened was when Elon Musk took over on Twitter and then named or coined NPR to be state-sponsored media. And NPR's response was to completely stop spreading the news, stop giving information to the entire Twitter ecosphere. Did that help Twitter? Did that help the American public? I don't think it did. I think in many ways it started the slippery slope of the media saying, okay, we either have to, acquiesce to Donald Trump, or we have to completely refrain from talking badly about him. That's not the role of the media. And Professor Jarvis was on CNN just now before I got on, talking about the role of journalism is not to just give up when if fascism wins. You don't just give up your responsibility. The fourth estate doesn't just give up its responsibility of telling the people the truth, to remind people that so many people who have worked with Donald Trump talk about his fascist tendencies. And just because he has won, now we have everybody from Joe Scarborough and Mika from Morning Joe to Dana Bash building a playing field in which you normalize fascism. Dana Bash talking about a group of Nazis walking down in somewhere in Ohio and then wondering on what side of the issues they're on. That is about as sane washing as it gets. And when I say sane washing, I'm talking about Aaron Rupar's coining of the word sane washing, which is the news media, journalists are equating and normalizing Donald Trump's abnormalities and MAGA movement's extremism by putting them on the same playing field as how the Democrats conduct politics, or how the Democrats convey messages to the public of how much progress they have done. The media has been sensationalized to the point where they aren't talking about the bread and butter eggs issues and saying, no, actually, Democrats are implementing those policies. No, they're talking about the bombasticness of Donald Trump's existence and what MAGA is doing. So, journalism, in a sense, has been corrupted by people like Jeff Bezos and people like Elon Musk, who seek to not be neutral, but to weigh in favor of an oligarchical approach to news, to the press, when the press is supposed to be free and supposed to be a pillar of free society. So we should be watching this very carefully. We should be listening to independent media from Brian Tyler Cohen to Glenn Kirshner to Katie Couric on YouTube to Commonwealth of California to so many other independent news agencies, to the Bulwark, to go to NPR, go to 60 Minutes, Meet the Press, go to Fox News if you have to listen to the other side. Go and listen to Newsmax. Listen to all of these perspectives. And listen to the individual journalists and their accounts on social media on how they report on what they're seeing on the ground. Look at engaged citizens who are continuing to come out and talk about what is happening in this country and doing whatever little that we can to bring the truth to you. With that said, thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.